As the Bachelorette spoilers predicted, Clare Crawley essentially got engaged and bowed out of the show early in 2020. Crawley was replaced by Tayshia Adams, who finished the job of doling out the roses and ended up engaged herself. In this most bizarre year of the series and in general, a double shot at lust and love is just what Bachelor Nation needed. Looking ahead, we're hoping for the best for both Clare and Tayshia on their journeys, but the odds are not in their favor. Why do we say that? Life gets in the say. If Ashley Hebert and J.P. Rosenbaum split, that tells you all you need to know. Even in the best circumstances, it's tough. This is a dating competition throwing two people together under a pretense that is literally impossible to sustain over time. Can they transition into real life, establish a new normal, and make it work? Sure they can, but oftentimes they fall short. Which stars made their true love last? Which flamed out so hilariously fast you can barely even call it a relationship? And what about everyone in between? We have ranked the 17 Bachelorette stars based on who was most successful at finding love during her stint as queen. See how they stack up from worst to first, and see if this year's two stars can succeed where others have failed. Hannah Brown. Our most recent Bachelorette, Hannah Brown, aka Hannah Beast, aka Alabama Hannah, aka Beast Mode, comes in first or last, depending on your point of view. Hannah got engaged to Jed Wyatt on The Bachelorette, but that was over by the time we got to the After the Final Rose special, at which point she asked out runner-up Tyler Cameron. That short-lived romance fizzled also. Hopefully Clare can clear this very low bar. Jen Shaft. Bachelorette Jen Shaft broke up with winner Jerry Ferris on the After the Final Rose special because she just wasn't feeling it, not even making it to the day after the finale. As we saw with Hannah Brown, Jen set a low bar set for everyone else at least. Emily Maynard. Emily Maynard and Jeff Holden break up just a few months after his proposal in 2012. He was never the right guy anyway, should have picked Sean Lowe. Now that she or Sean, who is happily married to Catherine Giudice, who he met on The Bachelor, are overthinking it right now. Sean and Catherine are about as happy as a couple can be, while Emily has since married and had a bunch of kids with Tyler Johnson. Andy Dorfman. Andy Dorfman found love with Josh Murray on The Bachelorette, a move that seemed destined to make from the start despite a lot of red flags. The heart wants what it wants, we suppose, including breakups. Unfortunately, their engagement ended up only 6 months or so. Deanna Pappas. Deanna Pappas and Jessica Singsack broke up 7 months after their finale aired. Silver linings, her journey introduced us to Jason Mesnick, one of the most popular contestants in the franchise history, and Deanna went on to marry Steven Stagliano, a high school teacher and the twin brother of former Bachelorette contestant Mike Stagliano. Tayshia Adams. We can't put Tayshia Adams any higher on this list since her journey just unfolded on ABC, but she and Zach Clark are engaged and head over heels in love. Nothing is guaranteed, but we don't see these two flaming out as fast as some of the mismatches we've seen on this franchise, or possibly at all. It's been a solid few months since they met on the show, and hopefully they'll be a lot higher on this list as their relationship grows over time. Clare Crawley. Clare Crawley's journey on The Bachelorette was not a conventional one. She met Dale Moss and that was basically it. Good night, thank you, and peace out. Perhaps she jumped the gun and it won't last in the end, but they are still an item as 2020 draws to a close, and she sure appears happy with her decision all these months later. Jillian Harris. Jillian Harris and Ed Swiderski broke up 1 year after their finale aired. Swiderski later appeared on Bachelor Pad. Jillian now appears on HGTV's Love It or List It too. Meredith Phillips. Meredith Phillips, the second Bachelorette, chose Ian McKee as her groom. The two broke up just over a year later with little fanfare. Ali Fedotowsky. Ali Fedotowsky and Roberto Martinez made out a lot. Then they made it 1 year and 3 months before going their separate ways. Pretty decent compared to some Bachelor flameouts. Caitlin Bristow. Haters and recurring breakup rumors be damned, Caitlin Bristow and Final Rose received Sean Booth lasted 3 whole years, which is a long time for any relationship. Then they broke up in November 2018. Becca Kufrin. Until August 2020, Becca and Garrett were one of 6 Bachelorette couples still together. Now we're down to 5, or a 33.3% success rate, 5 of 15, not including Clare or Tayshia. While they outlasted skeptics' predictions and seemed happy as clams for 2 years, there were just too many different worldviews and life choices to overcome for Barrett or Gekka. Ashley Hebert. Ashley and J.P. Rosenbaum got engaged in 2011 and married in 2012 in a special that aired on ABC. They were married and living happily ever after, through thick and thin, or so we thought, until they blindsided Bachelor Nation with the announcement of their impending divorce in October 2020. The parents of two remain a huge success story for the show, albeit a sobering reminder that even 9-year relationships aren't destined to succeed forever. Jojo Fletcher. She's still engaged to Jordan Rogers and sure seems happy about it, all these years later, despite many of their critics assuming this relationship was done on arrival. Still no wedding, but the joke is most definitely on those of us assuming that these two would be over by the time tabloids moved on to the next season. Not so at all. Rachel Lindsay. The long-term love game appears to be a reality for Rachel Lindsay, who went public with fiancé Brian Abasolo following the season 13 finale 2 years ago. They've been going strong ever since their season came to an end and got married in the summer of 2019. Congrats! Desiree Hartsock. Desiree Hartsock, after famously settling for her second choice on The Bachelorette, Chris Siegfried, proved that nice guys do in fact finish first. They went on to make a successful relationship happen, no matter how unlikely that seemed on ABC. Sometimes when one door closes, a better one opens. They're married as of 2015 and have a family together. Trista Sutter. Trista Sutter, the original Bachelorette, wins this one by a long shot. She and hubby Ryan Sutter have been married for almost 15 years. 15. The first ever Bachelorette makes for an unbeatable standard-bearer in terms of pure longevity. That's it for now, thank you for watching, please subscribe to stay tuned.